I had a chance to report on a news story yesterday about St. Louis Board of Aldermen President Megan Green and a Facebook post that she wrote last week condemning Israel's actions in Gaza as a genocide, appearing to equate it with the Holocaust, the murder of 6 million Jews in Europe during World War II, and falsely claiming that Israel's stated goal is to successfully carry out a genocide against Palestinians, and that is what Israel is doing in its war in Gaza. These statements, which I exclusively reported on yesterday, are being condemned by leaders of the St. Louis Jewish community, including rabbis and Israel advocates, who say that Green is spreading falsehoods, including the fact that Israel is committing genocide. Israel is in fact engaged in a war with the Hamas terrorist organization, which started the war with its invasion of Israel on October 7, 2023. And Hamas, as we know, purposely embeds in civilian areas and places their fighters and military infrastructure in and beneath civilian centers, including hospitals, schools. Green's post failed to make any mention of Hamas or October 7th or the hostages that are being held by Hamas in tunnels beneath Gaza. She also said that politicians who don't criticize Israel should be made to feel uncomfortable. And so her comments were roundly condemned by members of the Jewish community I talked to. And her post, which was made on her page, her personal Facebook page, drew renewed scrutiny following two anti-Semitic crimes committed in the St. Louis area. The first was the torching of 3 vehicles in Clayton, Missouri, near St. Louis. Those vehicles belonged to the family of a lone IDF soldier who was an American citizen. Outside that home where the 3 vehicles were torched, someone scrawled "Death to the IDF" along with other threatening statements targeting this young man. The following day, the Steinberg Jewish Student Union House in University City in St. Louis was vandalized. A pro-Israel sign was vandalized with marker. Words were crossed out, and someone wrote genocide on that poster. These claims by Green being considered by members of the Jewish community inflammatory. It's also part of a broader trend of local, state, and national politicians using increasingly incendiary and false rhetoric against Israel, particularly on the left wing of the Democratic Party. Rhetoric that Jewish leaders say directly harms Jews and spreads anti-Semitism through these libels and falsehoods about the state of Israel. But especially when political leaders such as Green failed to do in her post, failed to mention Hamas, October 7th, and portray the situation in Gaza as if Israel is purposely targeting civilians, that the terrorist group Hamas does not exist, that they are not sworn to Israel's destruction, that they have failed to surrender or release any of the hostages, have said they're going to repeat the October 7th massacres again and again. So that's key context that is missing from statements from politicians like Green. I'm going to be staying on this story. I'm going to be, of course, tracking the public statements of elected officials in Missouri as well as South Florida, which are both areas where I cover Jewish community news. I'll have more reporting soon.